today we're going to be making this jet plane or passenger airplane because a lot of us are going to be taking summer vacation soon. School is almost out, and right now I have some excited third graders in here. Would you like to say hello to YouTube? Hi. Well, today we're going to be making this, so they're going to be the kids that are going to be showing my examples, and at the end of class I'm going to take about 3 or 4 of them and show them to you and see what so that you can see what they have made. The first thing we want to do is when we think about our passenger plane is we want to think about how much space do we want it to take up on our page. And for this example, it's going to take up most. It's going to be our subject of our painting. So the subject is your main emphasis of your painting. So we want it to take up almost the entire page. So we're going to plan. Now look at my hand compared to the paper here and the end of the plane. It's about a hand space. The width of my hand is where the end of my plane is. And then on this side, I have about 3 fingers before the end of my plane here. So if we do these measurements, that way I know how long I want my plane to be. So you need to set those limits. So let's set our limit. Let's set the limit where we want our tail to end. So I'm going to put my hand at the edge of the page, and I'm going to go toward the middle. So I find the top, bottom, and center of my page, and from the center of my page where my hands meet, I'm going to draw number 1. And this is going to be the back of my plane. So go ahead and draw a number 1, and that's to the left side of my paper. It's about 1 inch. Look, it's a little bit wider, or actually as wide as my finger is fat. And it's a little bit under 1 inch. Now I'm going to draw a diagonal line down, and I'm going to go to where I want my plane to end. Look, I want to leave some negative space on this side of my paper. So I'm going to measure out about 3 fingers, and this is where I want my plane to end. Now my plane is slightly sloping down diagonally. So I'm going to put a number 1 here where I want my plane to end, and then I'm just going to simply connect these lines together. Now, if I want it to connect exactly straight, I can fold my paper end to end, okay? And I can follow that fold line, or I can just freeform it, okay? Or I can use a ruler, or I can actually use another piece of paper, okay? If you want to just come down slowly to have it meet. Sometimes it's best if it's not perfectly straight. And from there, what I'm going to do is come around. I'm going to curve diagonally down. See how I'm coming down now? Diagonally down. And then I'm going to go over straight. So it's on a diagonal. Then I go diagonally down about 1 inch, then over about 1 finger. And then I'm going to draw a number 1. This is forming the cockpit windows. See? See what we got here? Now I'm going to curve it round and back to the end of my line. There's my cockpit windows where the pilot sits. One time my son was able to sit in the cockpit when he was about 4 or 5. Not during the flight though, but right before the flight. That was interesting. From there, we're going to come curve. Now watch my curve first before you do it. I'm going to curve out and around. I'm kind of hugging very closely to this edge. I'm rounding this tip of the plane. So I came out a little bit and rounded. This is the nose of the plane. And this, you can make this more curved. These windows can be curved a little bit more. And now I'm going to bring this back, and I'm going to go about 3 fingers. So I'm coming down, matching the top of my plane. And then I'm going to curve out toward the end of, or not curve out, but go straight out toward the end of my page here. I'm going to come diagonally straight out. And then this next diagonal line is going to curve, or it's going to point toward the edge of my page here. So I'm going to go diagonally up just a little bit. This is forming the wing. And then I'm going back straight to the plane. And then I'm going to give an arch, a slight arch, curve it up and back. Because these wings are a little bit rounded here. And then, I don't know if you've ever made like boxes or cubes. I'm going to come down straight, real narrow, straight, real narrow. And this is a vertical line. So vertical lines are going to be perpendicular to this edge here. So very straight down, and then I'm just going to connect the two. This is going to give me a little thickness in my wing. And then very narrow, slowly to the wing. You see how it gives the shadow? It shows the thickness of the wing. And then I'm going to make the top wing. So I'm going to now measure it up with this line. Here's this line. Go to the other side of the plane, and I'm going to do it a straight line up. Now, this is on the other side of the plane, and so in perspective, it's going to look like it's shorter than this one. I'm going to go over horizontally, and then I'm going to go back down to the plane, but I'm going to make this kind of like a trapezoid shape. It's going to be wider here, because it's going to match up with this. The wings are long or wider here and then narrow. And then I'm going to go to the back of the plane, and I'm going to come down and connect. So this is wider here, and then it gets narrower at the tip of the plane. And this is diagonal down. The tail comes up straight, over, and then back down diagonal. And then it's going to come out this way. And I'm kind of playing off of this same angle here. This diagonal line is going to become parallel to this diagonal line. That means equal distance. So I'm coming this way. So if you look, this angle is going to match this angle. So if I measure from here to here and here to here, it's equal. So these two lines are parallel. They go in space and never meet. And then this line's going to be parallel too. If I just continue drawing this straight across, this line would come straight across. And then I'm bringing this back to the plane. And once you have your plane shape, you can add all the detail. Now, what I did was I invented this plane. I don't know. Oh, and you can do your 3D here too. Just drop down straight, bring it back. And then if you want to add detail to the motors, to the engines, these are circle or actually oval, and then bring it back to the plane. These are like engine boosts or rocket boosts or pipes or something, exhaust pipes. And then I stick in windows. What I do is I take, and since it's a passenger plane, I'm following off of this line, and I'm just making rows of windows. And you can design your windows any way you want. You don't have to have it. I just made up these double window things, but you can design your own if you want single windows, small windows, windows that have a little curve, or circular windows, or oval. I'm just sticking in my own windows here that I made up. And then each airline has different designs on their wings, on their tails. So you can add, you know, red, white, and blue stripes, however you want to do your stripes. I'm just putting a single stripe just so that it's quicker. And then what I do is I color in my engines a dark color here just to show that this is an open hole. This is some kind of exhaust or something, or where the flame or the heat comes out. It's where the what?
Where the fan is, that it's like a little like fan where it's like sticks out and it goes, keeps on going around.
Oh, there's an actual fan in there. Well, cool. See, my third grader knew more than Miss Blushie. All right, so I want you to design these up, and the kids on YouTube can finish adding their windows, and I'm going to find some pictures to show examples of what we just made right now. I'm going to grab a couple to show them what third graders just did. And let me grab yours. And, oh, cool. She put her class coat on it. Oh, that's awesome. Here's an example of rounded windows. So let me show these. Then what they're going to do is they're going to finish coloring them and decorating. Here's some with rounded windows. Here's one with her class code on it, on the airline. So that's their class official private jet.
Yeah.
And then here is another one. And then here's one in gray. And then you can put your destination, maybe the city down below. If it's flying to Paris, you might want the Eiffel Tower. That's where I'd love to go this summer. So you can put wherever it's flying to. Grand Canyon underneath. Okay, and have fun. And let's all say good luck and goodbye to our YouTubers.